Down 9 at halftime, turnovers flooding in, and facing a team nobody expected to shake, yet the Pacers found a way. In Game 1 of the NBA Finals, they ripped the script and hijacked the spotlight. But how did they turn desperation into dominance and steal home court on the biggest stage? Let's unpack every jaw-dropping detail. The first half looked like a nightmare. Indiana coughed it up left and right, nearly 20 turnovers, and managed just 45 points. They dug themselves a deep, nearly fatal hole. Meanwhile, their defense? Aggressive, yes, but it felt like one of those fire hydrants, not a garden hose dumping energy into every play without dribbling up any water themselves. OKC came out in that switch, everything defensive scheme. 4 perimeter defenders rotating. Instantly, double big lineup morphing into a hyper-switch fantasy. They cross-matched wings to bigs, deny seams, cover the paint, and drive Hallie and net ball handlers into forced floaters or stunted pull-ups. It was chess at breakneck speed. But here's the thing. It worked. Pacers had no room to breathe. And yet at halftime, they were down just 12. That spoke volumes about their grit and what was coming next. Coach sensed the momentum shift. No more playing OKC's game. No more forced combos, elaborate motion, or deep post entries. Indiana went minimalist. One quick action, high ball screen, swing ball handoff, then let it fly. Don't chew your eye. Shot clock. Attack your matchup. Get to the rim or fire from beyond. They trusted their shot making. The simplified offense snapped. Enter the third quarter. Early possessions came with purpose. One dribble handoff turned into a crisp pick and roll. If Haliburton found Turner up top, pass entry invoked, but only if the shot had profit. If not, swing, wing open for 3. No lottery, no question. Turnovers dropped off. Pace came roaring back. It was purposeful. Each action in Q3 became surgical. Extra passes, empty wings, drive kick release. E.g., Matan blazed downhill. After a handoff, drawing help before delivering to Bryant for a thunderous dunk. The crowd felt alive. This wasn't desperation. It was design. The Pacers were no longer reacting. They were orchestrating. Their numbers leapt. 31 points in the third, and they clawed right back. Shot clock violations and congested traffic? Gone. They had found the space. They were taking high IQ shots and knocking them down. By end of Q3, the deficit had evaporated. Suddenly, they were in contention. Offensively simplified, defensively unshakable. Caruso and Shea held down the anchor points. They remained switchable, aggressive, denying baseline drives, forcing floaters. Every action OKC tried to sneak through, they jumped to contest. They grabbed every rebound. They hustled. Everything. Transitioned into transition chances, easy layups, or open threes. What had looked like a blowout halfway through became a one-possession game. The arena was electric. Pacers were not just responding, they were charging, and they hadn't even hit their real stride yet. The fourth quarter opened like a pressure cooker. Every possession mattered. OKC tried to reassert control, slow the game down, get back into their half-court sets, and let their stars take over. But Indiana had flipped a switch that couldn't be turned off. They weren't just playing hard anymore, they were playing smart. Haliburton, who had struggled in the first half, was now calm and cold-blooded. He wasn't forcing anything. He let the defense show its hand, waited for the overhelp, and punished every slip-up. One play in particular summed it up. With 7:42 left, OKC doubled him up high. Instead of panicking, he floated a cross-court pass to the weak side. Bam, corner. 3, splash. That was the dagger moment. Not the final blow, but the first deep cut that made everyone realize the Pacers are here to take this. And then came the defense. The Pacers locked in like a vault. Every rotation was crisp. Every switch was seamless. They crowded the paint, closed out hard, and never gave OKC a clean look. Shea tried to force drives, but Caruso was glued to his hip. The help came early, the contests came late. Mid-range, denied. Kick-out threes, rushed. and when the rebound went up, Indiana had 3 bodies crashing the glass. They weren't going to give second chances. With 5 minutes left, the game was tied, but momentum wasn't. You could feel it. The energy had tilted. The noise in the building said it all. Pacers fans were roaring, while OKC looked confused, frustrated, even tired. Every Indiana bucket felt like a punch. Every stop felt like a win. Then came the critical moment. 3:12 left, shot clock winding. Down, and Haliburton got a switch onto a slower big. He hesitated, pulled back, stared him down, then drained a step-back 3 from the wing. The bench exploded. Timeout OKC. And just like that, Indiana had their first lead of the night. From there, it was all execution. No panic, no nerves. They milked the clock, forced OKC into bad shots, and got stops without fouling. In the final 2 minutes, every possession ended in either a smart shot or a reset. They ran 2-man games, hit their free throws, and moved like a team that had been there before, even though nobody expected them to be here at all. The final buzzer sounded. 104-99. Pacers win. Stunned silence from half the crowd, while the rest were on their feet. Nobody saw this coming, not with the way the game started, not against this OKC defense. But the Pacers didn't care about the script. They wrote their own. They stole Game 1, not with luck, but with poise, with patience, with adaptability. They came into enemy territory, took every punch in the first half, and responded with a masterclass in the second. They didn't just win the game, they sent a message. This series? It's not over. It's just getting started. The aftermath of Game 1 didn't feel like a single loss for OKC. It felt like a wake-up call. All the talk before tip-off had been about how they were younger, faster, deeper. How they had home court, 2 all-NBA talents, and a chip on their shoulder. But the Pacers shattered that narrative in just 48 minutes. And let's not forget, this wasn't just Indiana's first finals game in over 2 decades. It was their first finals win since 2000. They came in with 0 pressure and everything to prove. And when that final buzzer hit, it wasn't just a scoreboard that flipped. The psychological edge shifted. OKC now faces something they haven't truly dealt with all postseason: doubt. The Pacers cracked their armor, not with flashy dunks or highlight reel plays, but by winning the margins, out-rebounding them in the second half, forcing 6 turnovers in the final quarter alone, and limiting OKC to just 17 fourth-quarter points, their lowest in the entire playoffs. Rick Carlisle, Indiana's head coach, deserves serious credit. His halftime adjustments weren't just tactical, they were surgical. He rotated fresh legs on defense to slow down Shea. He inserted Nesmith for extra hustle plays. He trusted bench units to buy minutes. And most of all, he gave Haliburton the freedom to control the game down the stretch. Haliburton's composure is something we haven't seen from a Pacers player in a long time. Not since Reggie Miller have Indiana fans seen someone so unbothered, by the moment. This was his finals debut, and he looked like he'd been there 5 times already. He finished with 28 points, 9 assists, and only 1 turnover. That's not just efficient, that's leadership. But here's the real kicker. The Pacers didn't even play their best basketball. Mathurin was quiet most of the game. Turner struggled, early with foul trouble. They left points at the line, and yet they still stole Game 1 on the road. That's the kind of win that shakes up a finals series. It breaks open the door for doubt, for pressure, for overcorrections. And you could already see it on OKC's sideline. They weren't just beaten, they were searching for answers. Of course, it's only one game. The Thunder are too talented, too well coached to go down without a fight. Expect them to respond in Game 2 with fire. Expect Shea to come out aggressive. Expect more intensity, more urgency. But now, they know. The Pacers are not just a feel-good story. They are a real threat. They've already done what many thought impossible, steal home court in the NBA Finals. And here's